So
let's also make sure to mention the edge rusher we got from Duke, RJ Oben. Now in my opinion, you can never have enough edge rushers to get pressure on the quarterback.
let me ask you this. I have an interesting question for you.
Shoot.
Do you think that Elko had a little bit of influence in those two guys coming to Notre Dame?
Did he tell them to go there?
I mean, yes and no. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't,
you want to start some controversy.
Duke, might as well go to Notre Dame. You know what I'm like? So
you want to spark some controversy, don't you, Ben? Right. Don't you? I don't know.
Because I think there's a mutual respect between Notre Dame and Mike Elko. I really do. I mean, he didn't leave on a sour note. It wasn't, know.
Listen, I loved Mike Elko when he was here. I was disappointed when he left, but I have no hard feelings against him. But if he had any influence, I don't know. I'm almost afraid to answer that question. I mean, listen, the clip that I just posted, or the video that I just posted of us talking to Mike Goolsby about Willingham.
Yeah.
I mean, that's getting us close to 8,000 views right now.
Yeah.
Because people are loving the the trash talk against Tyrone Willingham.
Yeah.
I don't want to get us in trouble for this. This is something that could probably get us in trouble.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have putting in a good word for one of your buddies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, could they put in a good word? Yes.
Elko's going. See, Elko knew. Here's another thing. I'm pretty sure Elko knew that when he took the Texas A&M job, okay, that he wasn't worried about Notre Dame. And what I mean by that is, if Notre Dame were to join a conference, let's just say this, okay? And I'm not saying I want it to happen, okay? I'm just talking hypotheticals here. If Notre Dame were to join a conference, they ain't joining the SEC. You know what I'm saying? Come on. So Elko's not going to have to sweat bullets going up against Notre Dame every other year or every year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So at least he's he's probably thinking, okay, well, we'll see those guys maybe once in a while, like they do this upcoming season, with us playing them. But you ain't worrying about them year in, year out.
No.
So I think that's more of what I'm going for with Elko putting in a word for Leonard. So
the best players of a certain team in one conference, he's not going to encourage them to go to play for a team in the conference of the team that he's going to coach now.
It's not like he told him to go to LSU with Brian Kelly.
No, he's not. In that case, he's not going to go tell these guys to go play for another SEC school.
Right.
But I just don't want the NCAA investigating these kids because of something we're saying.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't need them. We don't need them investigating us. Watch. The NCAA shows up at my door. Mr. Moriarty, are you what are you and Mr. Wolters talking about on your channel? Are you trying to say that Mike Elko was cheating and interfering with these guys transfer recruiting or what?
But I mean, these guys had talks with him before they left and before he left. I mean, that these coaches talk to these guys about where they're going to go after Notre Dame or Duke or wherever.
Yeah.
There's no maliciousness there. There's no cheating. That's just being a good coach. Freeman clearly was probably talking to some of these dudes leaving and going, hey, this is the place I'd recommend. And this is the place I'd say, let's not go there, So, I mean,
what?
Innocent.
Let's just say this. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to say this. Controversy sells. I mean, but speaking of which, if any of you have watched this long, listen, I also got to give a special thanks, which I already did in the short. Thank you to Fighting Irish Wire for actually mentioning our show in a recent that article they did about where they covered that clip of us talking to Mike Goolsby about Willingham, which that's pretty big to get mentioned in a website like that that's associated with USA Today. That's pretty cool. But the reason I bring that up, though, is just to make sure it's clear with everybody, Mike had a lot more to say than just in that 4-minute and 30-second clip or video that I posted. There's a whole interview that we did with him. Yes. Make sure you guys go watch it.
Yes. And he was an absolute blast to have on. I mean, it's always awesome to hear from guys who have been through it. You know, I mean, us fans, we see what they do. You know, we can crunch the numbers all we want if we want to go that route, or we can give the hottest takes known to man. But it's really, really special to hear from some of these guys that have been through it, you know. So it was a blast. It was an absolute blast having him on.
But getting back real quick to RJ Oben, as I started to say before we got on this little rant, if you want to call it that. As I said, you can never have enough edge rushers. And this kid knows how to bring the pressure. So in his career at Duke, 14 and a half sacks, 67 tackles, 20 of them for losses, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup, and 5 forced fumbles. And that's in 50 games of college football, which is not bad at all. So
especially at a school like Duke.
So the article that I'm reading, this is on Blue and Gold. According to Pro Football Focus, Oben registered his best season in 2022. He earned a 78.8 overall defensive grade during his senior campaign. He had 37 pressures, including 28 quarterback hurries, 13 run stops, and the NCAA stats awarded him 20 tackles, 11 solo, 6.5 tackles for loss, and 4.5 sacks. He also forced a pair of fumbles. This past season, Oben notched a 68.5 PFF defensive grade. So a really good player. You know, there's some work you can do with him. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. I mean, you know, defense wins championships. We saw it with Michigan.
Yes.
Getting that stop against Alabama and then shutting down Penix. So,
and then last and certainly not least, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ben. What were you going to finish?
Go ahead.
Last and certainly not least, kicker Mitch Jeter coming in from South Carolina. The SEC is known to have some pretty damn good kickers. But not just that, Notre Dame has had a lot of success in the transfer portal getting kickers. And and Jeter is no different here. He was 23 of 25 last year, good enough for 92%. And according to Blue and Gold here, they haven't all been chip shots. He's 3 of 5 from 50 yards or more. So, it also says here that it's highly likely that Jeter will likely sit atop the Notre Dame depth chart right away. The Irish have 2 other kickers on their 2024 roster in junior Zach Yoakum and sophomore Marcelo Diomede, Diomede.
Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Yeah, so we got it. Looks like we're gonna have another good kicking game this upcoming season in 2024. But Ben, does it bug you that we haven't exactly been able to? I mean, aside from guys like Justin Yoon and who was there before him?
Oh shoot, that's a very good question.
I know who it is, but I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, but for the most part, does it bother you at all that we haven't exactly been able to develop our own kickers?
No, I mean, if it was quarterback, I'd be a little more bothered. It's kicker. I'm not that bothered by it.
No, I guess kickers can pretty much be a dime a dozen.
So no, I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, all in all, man, some exciting times on the horizon for Notre Dame for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And then with this being a new chapter in college football with a 12 team playoff coming, there's a lot of excitement going on. And people can bitch and complain about all the stuff with the portal and this and that, but college football is still fun. I don't care what anybody says; it's still a fun sport. And yeah, I get, but I'm not irrational either. I understand where people are coming from about these guys just bailing out. I get that.
Yeah,
but it's still fun to watch. I still enjoy it, and in the end, these players don't owe us the fans anything. Let's face it.
And that's a topic for a different video. But
yeah. So with that said, Ben, great to be starting another year with you here on the Two Irish Brothers Show. Can't believe it's been 4 years. 4 years this month, actually. So this is our 4-year anniversary of doing a show on YouTube together. And to everybody watching, I know we've gotten some new subscribers from the Boost and the Goolsby and Willingham video. We welcome you guys aboard, and we hope you enjoy what we have to put out for you.
Yep. Welcome to the Homer Zone.
Yes. Yes. Maybe that's what we could call the show, the Homer Zone.
Yeah. We're now entering.
Yes. New idea for an intro.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, I think that'll just about do it for this video. We're approaching 42 minutes. But with that said, guys, welcome to 2024. A new page is turning. And on that note, I am Sean Moriarty.
I'm Irish Benjamin, aka Benjamin Walters.
And as we always say to every video, good night, God bless, and go Irish.
Go Irish.